3 new wings from F1. So we got these wings and we're like, what is going on? F1's releasing 3 wings. Like, nobody in their organization can tell me what the differences are. Talked to all the team riders. They say, oh, it's a little of this, a little of that. You tell us what you think. So here's what we think. So we've been testing these things for a couple months now. We really wanted to get some time in them, get a lot of feedback from a lot of different riders, so we can tell you, the consumer, as to what's the difference with all the wings. So starting out, this is a new wing called the Origin. They have the V4 of the Swing and the V4 of the Strike. So these two have been in the line for a while. Origin is new to their setup. One thing that you get when you get an F1 wing is a very light riding wing. So when you ride them, they feel very light in your hands. Lightweight feeling, they're lightweight flying. They use traditional materials and have a really great feeling. They also have great front to back balance. So I'll start with the Origin as to kind of like just a quick overview, and then we're gonna do and pump them all up and ride them back to back on the water. Origin, they basically went back to kind of their original swing style of wing. Skinnier wing. It has softer materials, so it has kind of like a little more flex to it. It's a little less expensive, and it's a very kind of easy, user-friendly wing. This wing has does have a little more front hand pull. Both the Swing and the Strike are very equally balanced front and backhand. This, we found the Origin has a little more front hand pull to it. So great all-around wing for those people that were looking for that original F1 swing feel. Then you've got the Swing, which has very smooth and easy power delivery, right? So smooth, I mean like you sheet in and it doesn't like kind of, you don't feel the punch, right? You don't feel it quite as punchy. It luffs out really well. All 3 of the wings do luff out well. I personally like the Strike the best in the waves, but we'll get to that when we're on the water. But the Swing, you know, does luff out really well. It has that very smooth, easy power delivery. Not a ton of as much low end as what you get in the Strike, but very balanced, very easy. More for kind of that cruiser all-around rider. Then you've got the Strike, which is your highest performance of the wing, most power per size, most punch. As you get loaded up, this thing jumps really high. Like same conditions, I was jumping a lot higher on this, and this one I barely felt like I was getting credit card errors on the Swing. So a lot of punch, a lot of drive. It is definitely noticeable that this is a little bit more of an aggressive ride, but I still think it's user-friendly enough because you have that front and backhand balance and you have that lightweight ride and feel. So let's get these things pumped up, get them on the water. I'll start with the Origin, go to the Swing, go to the Strike. All right, let's go. All righty, we're gonna start this review with one of the few things I don't like about these wings. So the leash here is pretty basic. It's fairly short, so you can kind of get it caught in the wingtip. The main issue I have with it is that there's no swivel on it. So no swivel on the leash means that the thing is constantly coiling up. Like if I turn in the same direction, the thing is like spun up like a, you know, pig's tail, like all twisted up. I just put my Armstrong leash on here. It has a swivel waist leash. Definitely like that a lot better. So let's go over the handles. So the handle is a pretty big change for this year's all of F1's wings. Comes on all of them. They're interchangeable handles. They do come with the soft handle. You know, it's fairly firm. The nice thing about these soft handles are super lightweight, and they have like they're not going to punch you in the face. I noticed that they work great. I'm sure they were designed with this type of handle in mind. I find that they work really well in all conditions. You're not getting the max performance out of the wing until you go to a little more rigid handle. They will have hard handles and a boom. This is the hybrid handle, which has a plastic plate and a little more secure setup right here. So this is, you know, I put this one, the hybrid handle. You definitely get a little more out of the wing with that hybrid handle, a little more punch. So the wing comes stock with these soft handles, and then you can upgrade to hybrid, hard handles, or boom when that stuff is available. So these things are pumped up. I'm gonna start with the Origin on the bottom and work my way through right back to the Strike. All right, heading out with the Origin. So just for all those that are gonna ask me these questions in the comments, I'm riding a 55 liter board, 795 mast, HA 780, Dart 140. We're testing back-to-back 4.5 meter wings, and it's blowing like 18 to 22, something like that. Somewhere around the 18 to 20 range. Okay, so Origin. Flashback. It's like, what in the world are they making the Origin for? Well, there's such a demand for the original Swing, particularly last year with the V3 Strike and the V3 Swing. They made them a lot tighter canopy tension, a lot stiffer. They just kind of didn't have that easiness that the original Swing had. So there's a lot of demand for that original Swing feel. So what they did is they updated the shape a little bit. They updated the materials a lot because those original Swings stretched out super quick. and had no kind of range on them. And so now you have the Origin, which is basically an original swing in modern materials with a much more modernized shape. You can see it has a very loose canopy tension, right? So it has kind of like a very, you know, it's not as tight as some of the other wings in the F1 line. So let's get this thing going, and I'll talk about it while we're out there riding. Handles test, none of these things do that great of a job. So when you, you know, if you leave it, they're gonna flip over pretty quickly because it's got a fair amount of dihedral. But it does have a shorter leash, and the easiest trick is just pull that thing in, grab it by the handle, or shorten it up here. So this wing, you can kind of just disappears when you ride it. Such a cool wing because it literally like just vanishes when you ride the wing. It's so light and nimble, you just whip the thing around. It does have more flex in it though. The wing does have more flex, but that's what makes it kind of that like disappearing act. It kind of feels like you're not winging wing. So I was talking about this wing just being invisible, just disappearing. Luffing out, all F1 wings free fly or luff extremely well. I found with this one, with the looser canopy tension in the waves, like it's great going downwind like this, but in the waves, if you have to cut back upwind, it really creates a lot more drag, and therefore that drag is harder for riding in the waves. All right, quick overview on the Origin. I call it the invisible wing. It just disappears while you're riding it. Super easy, super user friendly. It does have a little wider span than the swing, so you do catch a wingtip a bit more. If you love that original swing feel, this is like a 10 times better version with that feel. So just kind of disappears when riding. A little more front hand foot pressure, a little more front hand drive than the other two wings, which are just like perfectly balanced. So let's get on that swing and see how that thing goes. Into the pits, out of the pits, let's go. One of the things F1's done incredibly well is this front handle. They just made it really stiff. They took this kind of stiff type of skinny handle they have here and made it really stiff, so like it doesn't twist or wonk around. A lot of people just miss this, and so then it might be the best luffing wing ever, but it rides like garbage because they put a crappy handle in the front. So all the F1 wings have a really nice front handle for luffing out. They luff out well because it luffs out well. It's a great wing for luffing, but this handle definitely doesn't hurt it. So you can see here, the swing has a flatter profile, less dihedral, which is that V in front, than the Origin. It has a little tighter canopy. So as we progress through from Origin to Strike, you're going to get a tighter and tighter canopy. It has a little more defined kind of draft in here, and that's a lot to do with the materials and how they're doing the layout. more compact wingtip, so the more entry-level rider is going to really like and appreciate that. Also the shorter rider. Balance on this wing is just absolutely incredible. The front hand, back hand balance is just, it's just equal. Like it's really soft. I've ridden this overpowered, underpowered, works great. Little tighter canopy, definitely liked it better in the waves and luffing out than the Origin. Alrighty, swing. Very comfortable, very equal front and back hand balance. Very easy to ride. Not a lot of low end. I think better for lighter riders, or more, kind of rider that wants to have just a simple wing that's going to luff out well, probably like amazing. If you're just riding waves, this would probably be the choice for you, so long as you're not too big. The swing, so easy, so fun. I like a little compact shape to it, more compact than the Origin, a little less, luff, like loose canopy, so a little tighter canopy. Look at that strike. All right, into the pits. Here we go. Presto changeo, let's go. See what I mean about this coiling up, this twist, that leash twist. That leash just keeps twisting up, and twisting up, until it's like crazy knotted. So you definitely probably want to put a swivel on if you have a sticking with the standard leash. Oh, the strike. All right, time for the strike with the hybrid handles, or semi-rigid, whatever you want to call it. So those handles just make it a little more responsive, not too punchy. I still really like this soft handle on these. Like, they're lightweight, they're comfortable. They did take a few sessions to kind of break in, like they were a little aggressive on my first few sessions, but they did break in pretty well. And then obviously I just put my Armstrong leash on here. Armstrong leash is pretty long. Some riders find it a little bit long, so the wing gets away from you, but I kind of like having it away. And then when it's pulling from the waist, like it's really windy and snaps, it doesn't like pull your arm out of the socket. So here with the strike, definitely has a tighter canopy than the swing, but it still has, a fair amount of luff in there, and that gives it really good balance when you're luffed out. Going into a heavy wing, like kind of edging up into a heavy wind, you do feel some drag on this, but really nicely balanced. You can see it just flies so easily here. And the thing with all of the F1 wings is they're lightweight. They're not the lightest weight. They're not like a full Alula wing, but they fly light. So they're lightweight and they fly really light, which is super cool. That, they kind of fly lighter than they actually are. Strike, so much fun. You're going forward. What weird saying. But hey, the wing works killer. So I'm stoked. So beautiful. Definitely a crisper, more punchy kind of feel. Like you sheet in and definitely feel the wing more. So as you get more powered up, you're gonna feel that wing more. But it's just so nice, such a good wing. This strike just has this really crisp performance feel. Like, it's not too punchy. It's really well balanced, luffs out really well. I like this as the best all-around wing in all of them. Most riders can get this wing unless you're lighter weight. Then you go to swing or Origin if you want to have that dedicated kind of original swing feel. But I like the little more compact shape. If you are a performance rider or doing a freestyle, like that dude Chris McDonald just goes totally freaking bananas, getting bombed by the locals. And so like he just goes totally bananas on this thing. It goes super high, tons of spins. Like it's made for that type of winging, but your average rider can ride this and really enjoy it. They've really kind of been tuning this wing over the years, and they kind of, you know, a lot of people said, hey, with the V3 they went a little too far, it's too hard to get started, too far departure, whereas this thing is like true to all the strikes I've ridden, better balance. I think it luffs out better, and it's just an amazing all around. So I think this is going to be the #1 wing for us this year. Origin is going to be interesting to some people, swing's going to be interesting to people, but in the F1 range, if you want one wing that's going to fit all, go with a strike. If you want more reviews, got any questions, reach out online, realwatersports.com. Give us a call to shop, 252-987-6000. See you guys on the water for the next sesh.